UGC might be one of the most beginner-friendly ways to actually make money online in 2026. And there's no boss needed, no degree, no big audience, literally just you and your phone. But there's so much noise around it right now that most people never even make it past their first month. So I'm going to give you the honest, no sugar-coated version of how to actually become a UGC creator this year, including what it really is, what it takes, how you land your first paid brand deal, and how you turn that into income that shows up every single month and not just once. My first ever paid brand deal was literally 25 bucks for a video about a sleeping bag. I literally made close to nothing for 6 months because I was listening to all the wrong people. 4 years later, I've worked with over 200 brands and I pulled 10K a month from just 3 or 4 of them. So I've already made the expensive mistakes and I'm going to hand you the map to being a UGC creator. Now, I'll be straight with you though. This isn't an overnight thing, and no one's going to magically discover you because a video did well. And the people who actually make it work treat it like one. And stay with me till the end because I'm going to tell you the truth about who's actually making money in this space. And it's not always who you think it is. Now let's get into it. Number one, what UGC actually is and why 2026 is the best time to start. UGC stands for user-generated content. It literally just means a brand pays you to create content for them, for their page, for their ads, for their website. The key thing is it doesn't go on your page. So you're not an influencer and you don't need an audience, okay? They're not gonna care about your following. You're the person making the content and not the person posting it. Now, why 2026 specifically? Because right now, brands are actually starving for content, okay? They burn through ads every single week and there aren't enough creators to feed them the content, okay? Like right now, TikTok Shop is blowing up and brand budgets pouring into creators faster than ever. And you've literally got a wide open window. So you've got a wide open window for you to have an opportunity. There's such a shortage of certified creators and not a shortage of demand for creators. One regular person with a phone can now do what an entire production team used to do. Now that's the opportunity available to you. Number two, what it actually takes and what you don't need. What you do need is small. All you need is a phone, decent lighting, and that could be like your sun or the natural lighting that's coming into your house. You need clean audio, so you might invest in a mic, but your phone, if you have the newer version of the iPhone, you can actually isolate your voice on your phone. And of course, you need the willingness to learn an actual skill. And no, you don't need to spend a cent on a course or a template pack to start. Save your money. Because we want to reframe our mindset, okay? UGC is a skill. It's not talent and it's not looks. You're not born with it. You can actually learn what this skill is. It literally means anyone can learn it, and that's including you. The one skill that matters most is making content that sells. A hook that stops the scroll and content that feels real instead of like a stiff commercial where everything is just super salesy. You want to learn how to be a storyteller and how to share a product like as if you're talking to a friend. Now here's a little bonus. You can kind of add in something that's like, for example, when you're creating a video, you want to share a storyline. You want to share the journey, the outcome of what this product solves rather than why this product is good. Obviously, you want to list out some of the benefits of a product, but when people are making content, they don't realize that they're not really speaking to the audience. So you never want to be like, hi guys, today I'm going to show you XYZ, or today I'm going to show you this product. And here's another reality check. This is literally a business, okay? It pays consistency and it's not luck. I promise you, UGC is not just some side gig. Like you can do it on the side from your 9 to 5, but if you really want to make it out as a UGC creator and really work and make this your business, like you have to treat it like a business. You have to treat it like it's your corporate, it's your baby, it's something that you nurture. It's not just a quick rich scheme. Like you're not gonna get quick money from it. You have to keep the consistency and it will pay off. Number 3, the step-by-step to actually becoming a UGC creator. Step 1, you wanna take the time to study the right people, okay? And these people are literally the working content. And what I mean by that is the working creators whose content actually looks like an ad that you would wanna keep watching, okay? You wanna learn their hooks, you wanna learn their pacing, learn what they're doing, what their lighting looks like. And why I say this is because when I started, I just kept making content that I thought would look good. In reality, the ones that actually perform the best are the ones that you want to mimic or use as inspiration. You need to have a strategy behind the content that you are creating. Therefore, when you are utilizing the time to research other people and what they're doing and what performs well, it gives you insights on how to apply that into your content. Step 2, make a few practice videos, okay? This is all using products that you already own, okay? It's literally kind of like a mock video that you are showing the brands that you are capable of creating, okay? That's your proof. You don't need any like experience to do this. You don't need any clients that you have created videos for already, because your first portfolio is where you're going to showcase the work that you are able to create and able to do, okay? So the first thing that you want to start off with is just showing example videos, because if you come to a brand and you don't have any example videos, they're not going to be able to hire you because they can't vision what it's like to work with you and what you can create for them. Step 3, you want to set up a simple presence, okay? This is a dedicated account and a basic portfolio that's not just a media kit, because a media kit is for influencers. We are not talking about our followers or our analytics. We are talking about the videos that we can actually create for the brand. You kind of want to position yourself as someone who helps brands sell and not just a creator looking for work or a creator that makes silly, cute little videos, okay? Step 4, you want to go get your first deals, okay? You want to start where the briefs and payments are already live, and where you're going to find those brands are more on platforms like Fiverr, Upwork, Join Brands, We Sponsored. All of those platforms are pretty good to introduce yourself of what it's like to work with a brand and also gain experience and add those clients into your portfolio. And those are already brands that are ready to hire you. And also pitch brands that you already use and love daily. I like to tell my students that a no usually just like a budget stuck in someone's approval chain. So it's not necessarily a no. You can always turn a no into a yes, and following up politely is how a no becomes that yes, okay? And as for gifted deals, I don't like to recommend my students to start with gifted deals, but if you are very insecure with the work that you are bringing to the table and you don't find any value, I would say start with a gifted deal. But you also want to treat the gifted deal, the gifted collab, as the audition. So you want to over deliver and then pitch the version that actually pays. Okay, because when they finally see the concept that you created them in the free version, they're probably gonna most likely want to continue working with you in the paid version. And that one move is how I turned a free stay into a paying month-long deal at a luxury RV resort. Now, the principle to tattoo on your brain is your first deal doesn't need to be big, okay? I promise you that when you are looking for your first deal, it does not need to be huge. All right, when I started, I got a gifted collab, few gifted collabs actually, and then I made the $25 with the sleeping bag video, okay? You don't need to start from this grand perfectness of brand projects. Like, you start from somewhere, and from there you just keep building and building and adding more experience into your portfolio, and then value yourself a lot higher later on. Number 4, how to actually get paid well. And this is creator to a creative strategist. So this is like landing a deal and getting paid well. I want you to know that landing a deal and getting paid well are two different skills, okay? You want to drop the label of a UGC creator because it kind of puts you under the newbie mark, that you're new to this, that the $200 per video replaceable, you're a commodity, you're just interchangeable, like they can just replace you, right? It's the one and done type of videos. But when you are a creative strategist who makes content that drives their sales, now you are seen as an asset to the brand. Now you are seen as worthy and someone that actually understands what they're doing. And you approach it differently, right? You're the same person, you do the same type of work, you do the same strategy, you do the same type of thing, but when you position yourself as a creative strategist, and not just positioning, but you also have to bring it to the table, okay? Brand will see more value in that, and they just start to treat you a little bit differently with the budget, okay? And with all of that, knowing your worth, knowing your worth is so important. You gotta remember that you replace a whole production, okay? A whole studio production. They had to hire that, they had to hire actors, they had to hire copywriters, editors, all of the above that creates one commercial video, right? You replace all of that, okay? And you gotta remember that they would probably be spending $40K on a whole production versus you as a UGC creator. $3K is nothing compared to the $40K, but for you, that is a lot more valuable than a $200 video, right? So just remember that you're the bargain and not the splurge, okay? And then once you know your worth, you're gonna stop selling the one-offs. You're gonna start selling the retainers, 4 videos a month, maybe 3-month minimum and usage included, and that is gonna give you the ongoing income every single month. For me, I work with Earthbreeze and I am making $500 per video for 8 videos a month, and that's $4,000 that I'm bringing every single month, okay? And once you bring in the contract and you keep that contract going, that keeps you going, all right? That builds your UGC business. Now that's the same payment landing on the first every single month instead of starting from 0. And the most important part is to protect yourself. You wanna know the scope before you sign and charge usage rights separately, because that's the money that most beginners leave on the table. They don't really understand that one video comes with more than just the video. It comes with usage rights, how long that they get to use this video and all of that stuff. But but I go a little bit more into detail in my program. So if you want to learn more about usage rights and perpetuity and all of that stuff, we can go from there. Like back then, we were chasing the $200 gigs, 3 rounds of revisions, and it's all paid late, and we don't love that anymore. We don't chase, okay? We are the new version. This is the new era of creative strategists. So we are not UGC creators chasing to make a living, okay? Number 5, let me answer what you're already thinking, okay? Now, I know exactly what's going through your head right now because I've either asked these myself or been asked them 1,000 times, right? Isn't it too late or isn't UGC saturated? All right, now that's a good question, okay? UGC is crowded, but it's at the bottom. It's literally full of people who quit after a month. That's the saturated part, the part where it's like non-qualified. Those are the creators that are saturated, okay? That makes UGC industry saturated. But what a lot of you don't know is that it's wide open at the top where the trained and reliable creators are, and that's exactly who brands are desperate for, okay? Being genuinely good at what you do strategically and behind everything, and professionalism, everything that you bring to the table for a brand is the whole point of what the business side of UGC is. So when people ask that, yes, UGC is saturated for the beginners, but it's not saturated for once you do the work and put in the knowledge behind everything that you are doing and becoming the creator that brands actually hire over and over again. But I don't have a following. Good. You don't need a following. You don't need one. Your content is going on the brand's page, the brand's ads, and literally not yours. So none of your following, if you come in with 300 followers, if you come in with like 0 followers, like there's no point in worrying about that because you are a UGC creator and not an influencer. I've worked with over 200 brands and not a single one of them asked for how many followers I had on social media. So I promise you, having a big following is not required when you start UGC. I have 0 experience and no brands in my portfolio. I get this one also very much. Everyone starts literally there. You don't need to have any experience, and that's me included. When I started, I had 0 experience in what I was doing. All I did was put videos that I had already created on my social media and put it on my portfolio. And so how you can also do that is filming 3 practice videos with products around your house. Or you can even use videos that you've gone out to like show a restaurant or shown a like hidden gem or like just like a vacation house or an Airbnb, anything like that like can be included in your portfolio. So that is your one action step to do this weekend, is to film a few videos that you can add into your portfolio. And I promise you, you don't have to have anybody's permission to start that. These are all just mock videos and an example of what you can bring to the table for the brand. I'm not polished and I hate being on camera. I'm not young or techie. Now, actually, I know this might be controversial, but that is actually an advantage and not a problem in the UGC industry. And I say that because brands are drowning in polished content. And a lot of polished content looks like an ad. It looks a little salesy. It looks a little bit punchy, too much of that, right? And now they are actually looking for more authentic creators that could connect with their audience. So they are looking and paying for real and authentic and storytelling people that can relate, right? And the real is you. Whoever you are, however unique you are, what you can bring to the table as someone with this type of background, like anybody with your own personal background that you bring to the table, you are unique. Being a normal person sharing the product can allow a normal person that is watching the video to connect with the video and therefore purchasing the product because they relate to you. So being you is literally the product. I've got a full-time job. I don't have the time. Now I get this a lot too, but I built this in stolen hours as well. So like maybe early in the morning before I would head to work or something like that, or in late nights. Like you can literally do this around. I've known so many people that has done all of the things like around their 9 to 5, taking the little 30-minute break to edit a video, film a voiceover, all of that stuff. Like it's so possible to do it with your schedule right now to the point where you can actually move things around and then maybe say deuces to your full-time job. I am very much grateful that I didn't have to like work at the same time because my boyfriend was supporting me and then I was also living at my parents' house. So I am very grateful in that, but that is not an advantage. I promise you that is not an advantage because you can still do this in stolen hours of your day. I promise you, you don't quit your job to start UGC. Okay, I'm never telling anybody to quit your job to start UGC. I say do it as you're doing your job to the point where it can sustain as your job. So basically you start around it and you let it grow until it can replace your job. Okay, but how long until I actually make money? money? Now, here's the honest answer, because a first paid deal can actually happen in weeks if you're pitching properly, if you know how to strategize, if you know what you're doing, right? But real steady income is more like months, sometimes even years of like understanding the industry. But it is fast for what it is. Like, it is a genuine way to actually make money. Like, when you start making your first deal, you're like, holy shit, I can actually do this. Like, this is a real industry to be in. But the thing is, a lot of people get it confused. It's like, it's fast, sustainable money when you're doing the one-offs, but it's not. It's how you strategize yourself and position yourself that can make it a full-time income. But I want to remind you, it's not a lottery ticket, okay? It's not like the get rich quick scheme, and anyone that's telling you otherwise is selling you something that's fake, okay? Like, man, it took me many years to finally understand and be where I'm at, and also like investing in myself and having a mentor to do so. And I will always recommend somebody, like, you should find somebody that can hold your hand throughout the process, because there are a lot of things in the industry that you might not know about. Number 6, the honest truth about UGC in 2026. Now, here's what I promised you. A lot of the loudest people teaching UGC don't actually make their money from UGC. They actually make it from the course. Those 10K a month posts are often selling you and not being paid by a brand. And for me, I'm not about anti-learning at all. I just learned to spot the difference, okay? Because quiet and working versus loud and selling. This is a real business, and it rewards the people who show up consistently. I made $0 for 6 months because I trusted the wrong voices. Now, I'd rather show you the brands that I'm working with this month than flash a number on a thumbnail. So here's the one thing that I need you to hold on to, and it's the hardest brand deal you will ever land. The one thing that I need you to hold on to is the hardest brand deal that you will ever land is your first one. And after that, every single one gets easier, because you're not carrying around that doubt, okay? Because now you've got the proof, you got the system and the confidence that this is real, that UGC is real. Once you get your first paid brand deal, you're like, holy shit, I'm ready for this. Your first paid brand deal is the domino that knocks over all the rest, okay? Because most people quit one pitch before it falls. Don't be that person at all, okay? Get the first domino down and the whole line starts moving on its own. You don't want to be the person that is giving this a trial after the first month and then quitting, because I'm telling you, this is not a get rich quick scheme. For all of those that are like, oh my God, Callie, you're so lucky, you get to get paid with all these brands. I wish I could do that. You can do it, okay? And that's what I'm trying to tell you, is that, like, if you put in the work, if you sit down and you hustle a little bit, you're gonna get to where that possibility of like, oh my God, I can't believe I got paid to stay at this RV resort, this luxury, beautiful resort. Like, I can't believe I got a free excursion. Like, that is the whole beauty of when you finally land your first paid brand deal, you're finally going to see your eyes to a whole nother world, into a whole nother industry. So once you invest in yourself and what it is like to really build a business, you're gonna be set. So that's the honest map of how to become a UGC creator in 2026. That's including what it is, what it takes, how the first deal really happens, and how you turn it into income that repeats. And notice what none of it came down to. Not a following, not any fancy gear, not some perfect niche. It literally just came down to learning a real skill and positioning yourself right and treating this like a whole business that it is. Now, even if it was just one thing here that made it click for you, I want you to do me a small favor and hit subscribe, okay? Because I don't post the highlight reel on here. I actually post how this actually runs day to day in my UGC business, the brands, the real numbers, and the stuff that actually flopped along the way, because that's the part that actually helps you see this as a real industry and to be really immersed into UGC. Now, I'll say this really carefully, because I'm not here to sell you a magic pill, and you know that that's not how I do things. But if you want me to walk you through the whole system properly, start to finish, how I package retainers and land brands that pay me every single month, I put all of it into a free live workshop. And there's no template, no course pitch, just me showing you exactly how it works. And the link's right below this video if you want it. And it's honestly everything I wish someone had sat me down and shown me back when I was making $25 a video. Either way, I want to say thank you for spending this time with me. Go do that action video, go take those videos, okay? Put it in your portfolio. Take your time with this and really immerse yourself in it, and I'll see you in the next one.